5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Alimony, or spousal support, is a legal obligation that requires one partner to provide financial assistance to the other following a separation or divorce. Originally intended as a means to ensure financial stability for the economically weaker spouse, alimony was rooted in a time when one partner, typically the woman, had little to no access to education, employment, or personal wealth. In today's changing societal and economic landscape, however, this system is increasingly viewed by many as outdated, unfair, and exploitative. Instead of offering justice, alimony has in many cases become a burden, a tool for manipulation, and a curse to society. The foundation of alimony was built on the assumption that one spouse, usually the husband, would be the primary earner, while the other would take care of the household and raise children. In such a model, if the marriage ended, the non-earning spouse would be left financially vulnerable. Alimony was seen as a form of long-term compensation for years of unpaid domestic labor and limited career growth. However, times have changed dramatically. Today, access to education and employment is no longer exclusive to one gender. Many households now feature dual incomes, and both partners are often equally capable of earning a livelihood. In this new social structure, the logic behind lifelong or generous alimony payments becomes questionable. Continuing to uphold this model not only ignores economic reality but also reinforces outdated gender roles, treating one spouse as perpetually dependent. One of the most significant criticisms of alimony is that it promotes dependency. Rather than encouraging the receiving partner to rebuild their life, find employment, and move toward independence, it often creates a financial cushion that removes the incentive to become self-reliant. In some cases, alimony may continue for years, even decades, despite the receiver being physically and mentally capable of working. This kind of financial arrangement can be demoralizing and unjust to the paying partner. While the law may argue in favor of maintaining the lifestyle of the non-earning spouse post-divorce, it often disregards the financial strain placed on the pair, who may also be trying to rebuild their own life after a difficult breakup. There are instances where alimony is misused as a tool for personal gain rather than necessity. In bitter divorce proceedings, demands for excessive alimony can become part of legal battles driven by revenge, entitlement, or greed rather than need. Some individuals see alimony as a form of passive income, benefiting from a legal system that does not adequately account for changes in employment status, lifestyle, or personal capability over time. The imbalance lies in the rigidity of the law and the slow pace of change in family court systems. Once alimony is awarded, getting it modified or terminated can be an uphill legal battle for the paying spouse. This leaves many trapped in long-term financial obligations, regardless of the current circumstances of both parties. Alimony often becomes a lifelong burden for the pair, particularly in situations where they must continue to support an ex-spouse who is unwilling to work or remarry. It forces one individual to carry financial responsibilities for someone who is no longer a part of their life. This arrangement can be especially painful when the pair has moved on, perhaps started a new family, and must now divide limited resources between multiple responsibilities. What begins as a support mechanism transforms into an economic shackle, making it difficult for the pair to plan for their own future. This financial pressure can lead to emotional stress, resentment, and a sense of injustice that is difficult to reconcile. People change. Circumstances change. The individual who was financially dependent at the time of divorce may later become successful, but the alimony arrangement doesn't always reflect this evolution. Similarly, the paying spouse's financial situation may worsen due to job loss, health issues, or other life changes. Yet, the legal framework often takes years to adapt, if it does at all. This lack of responsiveness shows how inflexible and antiquated the alimony system can be. Instead of adjusting to real-world changes, it remains fixed in a narrative that no longer applies to modern relationships. Another societal problem created by alimony is its unintended role in discouraging remarriage. In many legal systems, alimony obligations cease once the receiving spouse remarries. This leads to scenarios where individuals choose not to legally marry again, even if they are in long-term committed relationships, solely to continue receiving financial support. This not only undermines the spirit of the marriage, but also creates a loophole where the financial system is manipulated. Additionally, although the legal structure is evolving, there still exists a significant gender bias in many societies regarding alimony. Often, the male partner is presumed to be the breadwinner and therefore more likely to be ordered to pay, regardless of the actual income of both spouses. This undermines the principles of equality and fairness that modern legal systems claim to uphold. Ironically, the continued emphasis on alimony undermines the very empowerment it was supposed to support. True empowerment lies in self-sufficiency and the ability to thrive independently. While support during transitional periods may be necessary, the notion of lifelong financial support as a right, rather than a necessity, contradicts the idea of personal growth and resilience. Instead of encouraging individuals to find their footing and succeed on their own, alimony perpetuates a cycle of dependency that benefits neither the individual nor society at large. Alimony, as it is practiced in many parts of the world today, has become less of a support system and more of a burden, a legal trap that discourages independence, encourages exploitation, and creates long-term resentment. While its origins were rooted in fairness, the modern realities demand that it be reconsidered and restructured. In its current form, alimony often serves as a curse to society, perpetuating inequality, emotional distress, and financial imbalance. It is only through thoughtful reform and a commitment to justice that society can move away from outdated practices and toward a more equitable future. Stop.